The 2021 Hyundai Elantra is all new. It's been on the market for 30 years. It's hard to believe, but this vehicle has been completely redesigned and it kind of looks like a Sonata, and we're going to take it for a drive. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Lauren Fix. If this is your first time to Car Coach Reports, we do a lot more than just car reviews. We give you first looks of new vehicles as they are announced, and we give you car smarts because we believe knowledge is power. Make sure to subscribe and hit that little bell so you don't miss anything. But we're going to take the 2021 Hyundai Elantra Limited for a drive. Now, it's important to note that when you go to the dealer, they're going to try and sell you on the vehicle. That's their job. We're going to give you information so that you can make a good decision and you don't have buyer's remorse. We're going to evaluate this vehicle in 10 categories: performance, handling, safety, technology, features, visibility, seating, design, quality, value, and then in the end, we will give you a Car Coach Reports total. Down below in the description, we will list all the competitors, which we've reviewed, and links to those as well. We're going to do the homework for you, so all you have to do is watch the reviews, put your comments down below if you have any questions, and we'll answer them, so when you go to the dealer, you won't just be sold on the vehicle, you'll be knowledgeable about your purchase. Let's take it for a drive. The Hyundai Elantra is offered with two engine choices. We're driving the 2-liter inline 4-cylinder, which is 147 horsepower and 132 pound-feet of torque, backed by a CVT. Now, when you change to the other engine, which is the hybrid, it's a 1.6-liter engine, and it's backed by a dual-clutch transmission. The combined fuel economy on this vehicle is 37 miles to the gallon. There are 3 drive modes, and that is Smart, Sport, and Normal. Here we go in Sport mode. This is the new 2-liter engine. It's better than the previous generation. It doesn't have a lot of get up and go compared to some of the other vehicles in this category, and that's kind of disappointing. Combined fuel economy is 37 miles to the gallon. If you buy the hybrid, the fuel economy is super crazy, up to 54 miles to the gallon, 50 in the Limited. The CVT transmission is not my favorite on any vehicle. When you go to the 1.6-liter, you're getting that dual clutch. You're going to get different performance and more torque. The fuel economy is also improved on the 1.6-liter, but it is a hybrid. Note that Hyundai's got a lot of new technology coming out. They've got plug-in, they've got hybrid plug-in, they've got hydrogen. So they're really looking at the future when it comes to performance because they want to be environmentally friendly, but they also want to offer vehicles that you want to drive. So there's a lot of different technologies coming out, so don't assume that EV is the only answer or that you're just going to stick with gasoline-powered cars. These mild hybrid technologies like you see in the 1.6-liter version of this engine certainly give you good performance and better fuel economy. So for performance, I gave it an 8. The handling of this vehicle is much better. This vehicle is 2 inches longer, 1 inch lower, and a 1 inch longer wheelbase. That wheelbase is the distance between the wheels. What does that mean to you? That means a better ride. And the ride is improved. It is a nice, quiet ride. It's unbelievably quiet. Now, when you put it in sport mode and you put your foot in it, yeah, it's going to be a little louder than you might expect, but that's not the way you're going to drive it. You're probably going to drive it in a normal mode where the gauges change in front of you, which will be cute, or in a smart mode where it picks the best of all angles. The brakes are improved over the previous generation, and it is a bit quieter, although all the vehicles in this mid-size category are a bit loud. The handling is solid and a big improvement, and it handles really nicely and rides really well on the highway. So for handling overall, we gave it an 8. Safety is important in any vehicle, no matter what you buy, and the Honda Safety Sense system is standard on all trim levels. That would include blind spot detection, forward collision warning, active cruise control, some of the obvious things, including the driver warning when you try to exit out the back and there's someone there. That's really important. Also, if you leave your children in the back, which I can't imagine doing, but some people have done it, it will give you a warning to check the back seat because it senses weight. So that's also really important. There is a forward collision mitigation. In other words, if some moron jumps in front of me, like the one that just did, and hits the brakes, this vehicle will stop so that I don't hit the vehicle in front of you. So these are part of the autonomous features you're going to start seeing slowly rolling out. There are no autonomous cars on the road. You're not going to see them in the very near future. But note that some of this technology is making driving safer on the road. The one thing that frustrates me with this car is that safety is available, but you have to buy up into safety, and I think that should be standard. And you're seeing that with Honda. They included standard. Toyota's doing the same thing. And you're not just seeing it in those brands, you're also seeing that with Nissan, Subaru. Every competitor in this category is really trying to show you that safety is important, which it is, and they understand that, but it's coming standard. So I don't think you should have to buy up to get the top safety features. When you're looking at safety overall for the new Hyundai Sonata, it earns a 9. When you're looking at visibility, it is a part of safety. You need to be able to see clearly, and looking out the front is a nice size windshield. But when you look out the back, you can see there's some limitations with the headrest, but also it's that coupe-like design, that slope back piece of glass, and we'll talk about that and you'll see it in design. But one thing you will note is that they made the pillars, which is right here, you can see like right there, really wide, really thick, and that sort of limits some of your visibility. Yes, there is an around view camera, but it's important to note what you see with your eyes is also really important. You've got your rear view mirror here, you can adjust that, but there's still some limitations. So for visibility, I gave it a 7. One of the most important things when you own any vehicle is right here in the driver's seat. If you feel uncomfortable, it's never going to get better the longer you own it. And so in every review, you'll see me reference seating as a top priority, because no matter how performance oriented it is or great handling it has or all this great tech, if you're uncomfortable in this driver's seat, you're not going to buy it, nor will you buy this brand again. So it's really important that you do this, is sit both the driver's seat and the passenger seat and in the back seat, because you want to make sure that people that are with you are comfortable. The driver's seat has a 6-way power and power lumbar. That works. You can make the seat pretty comfortable. The bottom of the seat, where the cushion is a little on the flat side, and the seat is pretty comfortable as far as side-to-side bolstering. And there is adjustable height seat belts, which I think is important. Go over to the passenger side, and I took a picture to show you. There's literally nothing. It is a 4-way adjustable seat. You can go forward and back, and you can adjust the backrest. That's it. Let's take a look at the second row. In the back seat, there is plenty of knee room, and that's important. But note that this seat is set for me at 5'8". If someone taller is sitting here, the person in back may have limited space. But look at the space between my head and the roof. Because of this coupe style design, you're going to have anyone over 6 feet tall being pretty darn close to the roof. If you're going to the dealership to buy this vehicle, bring a child safety seat with you if you use them, because you want your kids to sit in here and see how close they're going to be to the roof as they grow. That's not something you want to have to deal with, because it's going to be very frustrating as a driver as the kids are hitting on the roof. Also, if they're unhappy, that makes for a no fun ride. Now, when you're looking behind the center console, there is nothing. And behind the driver's seat, there is no net and no pocket. Behind the passenger seat is a net. And also note that there are cup holders in the doors and the Bose audio. This is a pretty basic interior. Yes, the front seats come heated and even optional ventilated, but that's not the same for people back here. Pulling down the center console, you have 2 cup holders built in, which I do appreciate with this 60/40 split rear seat. I'm disappointed in the passenger seat, because if you're driving this vehicle on a regular basis and maybe you have to sit in the passenger seat, why should you be uncomfortable? This is what I keep telling manufacturers. These seats need to be equal because you need to be comfortable. So overall for seating, it earned a 6. When it comes to technology, the standard entry-level cars offer the 8-inch touchscreen. But when you upgrade to the limited edition or some of the other versions of the higher trim levels, you get the 10.25-inch huge screen that connects to the 10.25-inch cluster screen. So now you've got this full panel of black glass that has a lot of neat things. When you're looking at the monitor itself, this is what you get when you set it to home, but you can set it to maps, which is nice because you can adjust it with your fingers. You can also use the buttons. So they've really thought about making it user-friendly. So I give them credit for that. You've also got your navigation, which allows you to plug in anything you want. You can set your favorites too, which I think is really nice. You can set your audio system. Now this is Bose, which is the upgrade. Sirius XM, you can pick your music station to whatever you want. And also has a record button. So this is AM, FM, as well as Sirius XM and HD. Why is AM radio important? Because there are some brands that are not including an AM radio, which I find to be absolutely ridiculous. Also, in addition, you can do a split screen. So you can change your stations if you want. You can do whatever you want from that direction. That's a nice little touch. In addition, I love these little, almost like test tubes. It's kind of cool. You can put in your media if you wish. It allows you to pick your media. This has the sounds of nature, so I give it a lot of credit for that. This is part of the features. I want to listen to something that's relaxing. You've got warm fireplace, you've got open air. This is also in the Genesis. Rainy day. Makes you want to go to the bathroom. Calm seas. Also your lively forest. So there are choices there. And for this time of year, it's snowy day, although we don't have any snow just yet. But that's kind of neat, and you can stop that also. Now, in addition, you can seek and find, you can do your setup, and you can set your favorites. There's also a list here. You can do the list this way if you wish. There's a lot of things you can make the way you wish, and people like to have that flexibility. When you go over to the center screen, this is where your gauges are right here. You got your regular information, but what's neat is when you change your drive modes, like I was talking about in handling, that's your sport, that's your smart, which is a combination or a balance, and then you've got your normal. So as you change each mode, you can do that. Now, one other thing that is part of technology is when you change your center screen here, you see you got the miles per hour, you press and hold the OK button right here, that's on the steering wheel. And when you do, what you get over here is all of your safety features, and this is part of safety. Since we're driving the limited version, we're gonna have the full loaded version. So you're gonna get all of your warning that you can adjust, your driver conveniences, the highway drive assist. You can set up the driving conveniences you want right here, and it tells you how to do it. Now you can go in here and put in what you want. You can also set the warning timing. I want late. In this case, for me, I want the late driver assist. Your warning volumes. I want this low or off, but it's going to be low. That's the best I'm going to be able to get. Your driver attention warnings, if you want them, they're there, and it's set that way, reset from the manufacturer. And you get this little cup of coffee saying, hey, stop. And your forward safety. So you can set your active assist. That's the forward collision warning. Some people like that off. Now here's the lane safety right there. Now when you touch lane safety, you can pick, do I want the safe exit assist, which is highly recommended for children, your active assist, your warning only, or do you want it off? I'd recommend if you're not aware of what's going on in that blind spot area, and a lot of manufacturers are starting to do that, that's great because that's much better for safety. Your parking assist, you get your rear warning, your rear active assist, which I do not like. If it thinks there's something there, it'll intervene and hit the brakes, and it's pretty aggressive. So note that what it says here, if it sees something in the warning, it's going to tell you, just send me the warning. I don't need you to actually intervene. So beyond that, those are some of the things that you can do in the safety features. Now, when you slide this over, you can see this interface is much updated. It's actually quite impressive. When you look at all the different features that are included, including wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, all that as part of technology, it earns a 9. When you're looking at this driver-centric cockpit, you can see that they've done some pretty basic things. We're used to the controls on the steering wheel and what we can do. We went over some of these features as far as adjustments in tech. But when you look at what's in front of you, you've got some really nice features. And I think they've done a nice job with these screens, trying to make it user-friendly. You get your lane departure, manual setup for the adjustment on the steering wheel, and then on the door, your regular controls. Nothing unusual, pretty much normal. I will tell you that this is material. This is not leather or cloth. It's like a recycled material. I'm not 100% of a fan of it because I wonder how it's going to hold up over time. This is your Bose speaker system, really cool looking. It's really neat looking. And I like the long panels here for the vents, really nicely done. Stalks are pretty normal, nothing unusual, everything that you've seen in any other car. And we went over the center screen. Remember, 10.25 on the upper trim levels, 8-inch on the lower trim levels. Then you've got all along here, you've got your ventilation. So that's kind of neat. Further down, you got your start stop button here and your map, navigation, radio, media, your seek find, your volume, of course, and your setup buttons. This is something that is very easy to make manual because people like it. You've got 3-stage automatic for your temperature controls, your air conditioning, and so forth. Heated front seats are 3-staged. There's also ventilated seats available, not in this particular model. And you got air circulation. Going further down below this very cool driver-centric cockpit, which means the passenger side just gets a grip if they need it, if you're driving that aggressively. You've got your 12-volt outlet here, USB here and here, no USB-C. That's something to know. Wireless charging here. Remember, depending on your case, you may not be able to charge, so you will want to use those USBs. To the left of the Prindle, as I lovingly call it, is your drive mode button. You can press that. This is your park, and you can see what happens here when you press that button. You can see the camera at any time, what's going on behind you. Goes right back. This is your parking brake and your auto hold. The auto hold button is if you're sitting at a traffic light, it will hold the car without it rolling forward as it does in most transmissions. Further back, you've got your cup holders right here, 2 basic cup holders, pretty easy. And there's your glove box. There's nothing in it. It's just a glove box, which is good and bad. Behind this center console is nothing. You would think that they would put charging cables in for people, but there is not. You have a good size glove box there with a gigantic owner's manual, which is sort of War and Peace, but it's also available online if you wish not to read it. Heading to the back seat, there are no features whatsoever, which is kind of disappointing, and the sunroof is a manual sunroof, which is standard on all of these cars. I do like the upgraded materials. The optional leather is also available. One thing that's important to note is that Hyundai has your regular key. We've all seen the key before, right? But they also offer this ability for you to take the card that's in this folder that we have and just carry the card. Put it in your wallet, that's easy, and your phone becomes your key. You can start the car, you can open the windows, you can open the trunk, you can find out your oil level. There's a lot of information, and this is fully integrated so that you can use your phone instead of carrying your key. You leave your key at home. Kind of neat technology, but overall it's missing a few things that you would see in some of the competitors, such as the Nissan Sentra and Toyota. And it should have, when you turn on the turn signal, that these turn into blind spot detection, which is not available. I was really disappointed because that's one of the coolest things that Hyundai, Genesis, and Kia offer, and it's not available. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. This should be part of a standard safety feature to make people safer on the road. Overall, for features when it comes to the Hyundai Elantra, it earns an 8. When you're looking at the design of the Hyundai Elantra, it looks very much like the Sonata, this very long grille with these unique modern forms in the front that stretch all the way into the LED lights. These are optional LED lights. They're regular halogens if you buy the lower trim levels. Note that it has a very big wide grille on it, and it is functional at the top and at the bottom, but the whole design of this vehicle is meant to give it a more coupe-like look and a little bit more sportier than the previous generation. Our test vehicle is a limited. It has 17-inch wheels. As you go down in the trim levels, they reduce in size of the wheels. Entry level is a 15-inch wheel, then it's a 16-inch wheel, and this is a 17 on the limited. If you go to the N line, which we'll review in a separate video, it will have the 18-inch wheels on it. Now here's something I want to point out about this car that makes it very different. I have to show you this design element that I'm not really a fan of, and you can put it in the comments down below what your thought is. I like the look of the vehicle, but this Zorro line or Z line, I'm not sure, it's not Zero, it's definitely more like Zorro. It has these really unique lines, and the body line splits, and it goes all the way back. So it almost gives you the impression of a Z if it's on the other side of the car. I don't know, the concern about the body lines is if you have any damage, I wonder how the collision shops are going to like working with trying to recreate that crease. But as you go further back, it does give it a very sporty look. Across the back of the Elantra, there's something that you might not see unless I point it out, because someone had to point it out to me as well. There's a bright LED light that runs across the back, but the way the end of the taillight goes creates the letter H for Hyundai. So here's one, it's a really wide H. One of the designers showed us. I thought that was kind of cool. You got your Elantra logo here. You've got a nice little flip, a wing, because it is a coupe design, and the glass almost looks like it blends right into the trunk. It's part of the design. The logo's here. You got your camera, the ability to open the trunk here, and across the back, they've done a nice job creating that same type of look you see in the front, those sharp-edged, modern design. When you're looking at design overall for the Elantra, I gave it an 8. When you're looking at the quality of the 2020 Hyundai Elantra, there's some massive improvements over the previous generation. This is the 7th generation, and over time, they figured out what consumers want, and they keep building on that. And you're seeing that in every aspect of all 10 categories that we cover, and even more. Now, one of the things I like is the build quality. Much improved, 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, which increases the value, which we'll cover next. Now, one of the things to note, not just the exterior, the paint quality, the metal panels, and the gaps, it's the interior quality. They did a nice job. They're using premium brands. Hyundai is a serious player in this category. So if you're looking at a Honda, a Toyota, a Nissan, or all of the listed competitors down below, you'll see that this vehicle is one of the top sellers in the category because it has a long warranty, they're reliable, they're low cost to insure, and people really like these vehicles and they're loyal to the brand. So for quality, this vehicle earned a 10. Coming around to the back of the Elantra, the trunk space is 14.2 cubic feet. That's a little bit more than most of the competitors. The only one that even comes close is the Sentra. We've reviewed that as well, and it's just a touch more storage. The split rear seats are 60/40. You can fold those down if you need to put something large inside. But overall, this is a very large, deep trunk, and they've done a really nice job. One of the things to know when you're looking at buying a Hyundai Elantra is you want to talk about the warranty. And this has that 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, which makes people keep coming back to this vehicle. JD Power ratings are really high. People that own these vehicles really like these vehicles. It's important to note this vehicle starts at $19,000. This vehicle is not. This is a limited, so we're looking around that $25,000 range. But when you're looking at it compared to the other vehicles in the category, it really has great value. What it offers as far as quality and design, the new improvements on this car really add up, and for a value score, it earns a 10. The 2021 Hyundai Elantra is all new inside and out, and it's running for North American Car of the Year. It has made the finalist list along with the Nissan Sentra and the Genesis G80, which we've reviewed both of those. Now the list for the Sentra is down below. You can check that out. I suggest you watch all the reviews and make a decision what meets your personal needs. Also remember to check your insurance agent. A lot of people are saying, oh, I like these two cars. I got a lot of people commenting, they're not sure what to do. My first comment is check with your insurance agent. One may be more than the other, and if they're the exact same amount, then you want to see where you can get the best price on the vehicle. Remember, there are some incentives still out there. We post them monthly, and it's important to note that it's not just the interest rate, it's the term. So if you're leasing, don't go beyond 36 months. If you're buying, don't go beyond 60 months, because then you're just throwing money away, and you don't want to do that. We want you to have good car smarts. When you total up all 10 categories on the 2021 Hyundai Elantra, our limited edition has a grand total of 83 for a Car Coach Reports rating. Now again, all the competitors are listed down below. There are links to the reviews so that you can do your homework before you go to the dealer. And if you don't like to haggle in person, you can do it through the internet. Very easy to do. Don't forget to check out our website, Car Coach Reports, in English and Spanish. There's a lot more content on there as well, because we want you to, again, get those skills so when you go to buy a car, you're getting the best value. If you got value from this video, make sure to like it, comment down below. We will answer your questions like I've been saying throughout. If I didn't answer something that you want to know about this car, I will get you an answer, because I believe if you ask a question, you deserve an answer. If you're looking for more car smarts, my book is down below, Lauren Fix's Guide to Loving Your Car. There's a link to Amazon where you can get it discounted. Also, I'm really excited to be part of a podcast with Javier Mota and Carl Brower called Total Car Score, and that's on all podcast platforms. Make sure to subscribe. You'll have a lot of fun with us.